Good morning, campers. Let's do a reading. As promised, today we're going to start a series of closing a 9-year cycle for all my collectives. As you know, we're energetically in this place where we're closing 9-year cycle. We're still closing the year of snake, still shedding, still letting go, still releasing, and slowly opening a big new 9-year cycle going into the year of the horse. I don't want to get into details because I've been rambling about this on my stories yesterday. If you want some context and if you want to know more about this, you can check my stories. If it's no longer available, I've posted it on my Instagram as well, so you can check that out. So what we're going to do today and in the next collectives, if that's not yours, you can check the next days. We're going to sort of highlight your last 9 years on a very high level. So think about 9 years ago. We're going to talk about, I want to do your biggest triggers, your biggest lessons, your biggest milestones as well. So what was the theme if you think about this? And then we're going to tap into the energy of what is it that you're still not seeing? What is it that you still haven't properly learned and released to give you guidance to fully close those 9 years and actually open new cycle without repeating cycles. Again, watch that story for content. Okay, let's jump right in. This collective, the last 9 years. The last 9 years. The last 9 years, 2 more. Okay. All right, my angels. Hold on. This was the second one, not that it matters. Okay, we have your first card is Sword and Rose, clarity, truth, revelation, determination. So, what I was hearing with this one, actually, it's difficult. I want to keep it high level, right? Because we're talking about 9 years, so many things can actually happen in 9 years. But if you look at your 9 years back, I feel this collective, you would feel that you have been lied to, that you have been deceived, that there were moments, maybe one connection, maybe few connections in your life that caused that feeling of dishonesty, and with that revelation, because they were showing me sort of a moment of truth. So in the last 9 years, one of the biggest thing in your life, whether that happened a couple of times as a pattern or that one big time, you would feel like someone that was close to you, someone that you have feelings towards, someone that was important to you, lied to you, deceived you, and it came to the light of truth. So you found out. Now we have 2 cards of healing heart and heartbreak. So it's sort of making me feel that it is about romantic connection. We have passion as well. That it is about romantic feelings, love, romantic partners. So maybe you went through a couple of heartbreaks in that last 9-year cycle. Maybe you've been healing your heart. I feel that with this passion, we're going to do another road to clarify, but I feel with this passion that maybe you have been, whether you realize this or not, right? Thinking about your past relationships, you would feel like I'm getting this sort of a high and low kind of energy, the love bombing from 0 to 100. So maybe you're one of those people that you meet someone and you get in no time crazy, like hooked and in love, and it's all wonderful and so passionate. Maybe every partner seems like the one, seems like it's insane chemistry and insane sparks, and then sort of things are being brought into the light of day. That's where your heart gets broken. That's where your heart gets disappointed, and it needs healing. Maybe you're a fire sign as well. I'm hearing. And you have grounding in the middle of your spread, which is actually a good thing. So maybe this collective, you do have some sort of a realization that you have the tendency to be like a black and white, up and down, and to get, I'm hearing intense, get this intensity, right? Sometimes, and I'm hearing a specific thing, especially about this passion. There are people in this world, you guys, that think that being intense and going from a 0 to 100 and love bombing means that you're passionate, but it's a big fat shadow. It has nothing to do with passion. True passion is based on true soul connections. In order to see true soul connection, whether that's your soul connection to another soul or to a specific craft or a life path, you need maturity, you need a spiritual maturity. You need self-awareness, right? Passion is fire, but true passion is stable fire, is a fire that burns no matter what, right? When we talk, and it's funny because we have Firefly at the bottom of the deck. I want to use this deck as well. Firefly tends to be that I get ignited and then I lose it with time. And those people usually tend to say that passion fades away with time, but true passion doesn't fade away. It's the love bombing, it's the intensity, right? So as you jump into relationship from 0 to 100, so within a couple of months, you're already calling someone your life partner, the love of your life, and it's passion and insane chemistry like no other. It's not passion. It's not you being passionate. It's you lacking something that you're desperately seeking outwards, right? Because true passion is not something that you have to fire up. It's something that just exists and burns, whether you are with this person, whether you're not, whether you're taking it slow or not. Do you know what I mean? So there's something in this collective that in the last, those 9-year cycle, they've been trying to teach you. They've been trying to show you. Maybe as well, it's coming to my mind, you're one of those people that you feel that if you were to look for reason and signs and look at the relationship closely, you would feel like it's not spontaneous and it's not passionate. But what it's actually doing, it's making you not see the red flags, right? The fact that we meet someone new and we sit in stillness and in contemplation to figure things out, it doesn't mean that we're not spontaneous and not passionate. It means that we're just understand that sometimes we have to be the observer of things to really tap into the needs of our soul, the frequency of our soul, to understand whether that is the actual thing. Things are coming into my mind. Let's do another row. We have breaking point at the bottom of the deck. Whoops, sword and rose. Past life repeating patterns, karmic lessons. So you would have more, this collective, you would have more than one situation. Maybe one was a big one. Maybe one was a partner that you actually thought that was your life partner and you would spend many years, if not your whole lifetime, I'm hearing with. But looking back 9 years, everything that I said, you would have repeated that pattern with more than one person. What else? Card healing. The butterfly. That's good. That's good. So there is a sense of transformation, of growth, of next phase of healing. So I always say this to you guys, when we have a life lesson, right? So let's say in chemistry at the bottom of the deck, there is something about this, you going from a 0 to 100, you like every new person seeing as the one. I have twin flames here, so maybe you even thought that someone was that. what I wanted to say to you guys, in every life situation, every relationship, every connection, there's always a lesson, right? And there's usually multiple lessons. There's usually multiple patterns that we're repeating that link back to our wounds and our unhealed traumas, right? So this is why I always say to you guys, as you break up with someone and relationship ends, this is where it's non-negotiable. If you really want to learn, it's non-negotiable. You need to pause. You need to stop seeing new people. You need to, the dating, the searching, the wanting for love for a really significant amount of time. Not a month, not 2 months, right? Especially if you're exiting a relationship that was long, that was committed, that you thought it was the one, maybe, you know, a life partner or a marriage. You need minimum, depending on the situation, if it's very mild, sort of a breakup, but minimum 6 months, I always say up to a year, sometimes even more. It's going to depend on a level of wounding, of trauma, of that heartbreak, of lessons, your individual path, right? But minimum that's 6 to 12 months where you're not even going to consider dating, not flirting, not going out, not going for coffee, no Tinder or ridiculous applications, no flirting with the guy or the girl at the coffee shop, nothing, zero, nada. As if romance, love didn't exist. You have to go inwards. You have to learn your lessons. You have to analyze it, because if you don't do that, you're going to repeat patterns, right? But what most people do, they, again, I always say this to you guys, this shallow level, new age spirituality, hear a couple of nonsense statement online, misunderstand them. Yes, you have to go inward. They go inwards for a month or two, and then bam, they find someone new already, right? And what that's going to do, you will always learn something, most people, right? Something. But you will miss the core lesson. You will miss the depth of the lessons, and you will repeat the patterns with the same person, maybe different way, maybe different scenario, maybe different background, but the pattern linking to that core wound will be repeated if you have not given yourself time to fully understand, let go, cleanse your body, your energy body, your karmic field. You're going to repeat the same thing. So the reason it's coming to my mind, I feel like this collective last 9 years, you would probably follow that path. So you would break up with someone, maybe for a couple of weeks or months, you would say like, I don't want to date. Love is like, no, I want to figure things out. I want to figure myself out. But bam, then you would meet someone, passion, chemistry, and you would probably say to yourself, but it just happened. Things don't just happen. When people say that, it's like, I laugh. How did it just happen? You were walking down the street and you tripped on top of someone? Those are conscious choices. Those are conscious choices. If you truly believe in true love and true soul connections, and you meet someone, you think that this person is that person, and you just broken up like 2, 3, 4 months ago with someone, you'll just say to them, we're going to have to be friends for the next 6 to 12 months. And if you truly believe that this is it, you believe they're going to wait. You know that they're going to wait, right? But you're not, what is leading you is not passion, but it's lust and lack. That's why you jump into things. I feel like it may be that, again, we're going to go deeper and we're going to explore things with detail, but I feel we may be talking here about, to close that 9-year cycle, they're really wanting you to just be in your own, really learn all the patterns. Let's continue. Let's see what else. Grounding. Hammer. To me, the hammer card, and there's a hammer card in a couple of decks. To me, it's a good card, although it does sometimes, mentions like insistence, sabotage, but to me it's persistence. It's good, sort of, it's working on something, right? So being on top of that grounding, I feel this collective, maybe you had attempts to try that cycle, to break that pattern. Maybe you have some sort of had realization, and on some level you do realize that this is the pattern that you're repeating, that this is what you do. You just cannot stay single. And every time it's passion, it's special. How many the ones can you actually have in your life? People say that, and then they say that, especially, it's coming to my mind, so maybe it's for a reason, especially in those cultures that are, classified as passionate, right? So the either Southern Europeans or Latin Americans, it's not passion, it's wounding, falling in love for someone else every couple of months, or even every couple of years, and thinking that they're the one. It's not passion, it's wounding. Sometimes, considering these examples, it's generational traumas, it's cultural traumas, it's conditioning. It's not passion. How is it special if it happens so many times? And I teach you guys that, yes, we have variety of soulmates. It's true. Soulmate is not something that is one, right? One. Soulmates is your soul family, is a soul that you've lived through a variety of lifetimes with. I've done many content about this. You can check that on my YouTube in Soul Ties playlist. So we travel the lifetimes with our soulmates. Sometimes there are siblings, and sometimes cousins, sometimes best friends, sometimes partners, lovers, very, very rarely parents and children, very rarely. But there's always more than one option, yeah? And I teach you guys that on our highest, most abundant timeline, yes, there is higher soulmate that on your highest, most abundant timeline you planned to share your life with. But if you go towards different directions, there's always variety of soulmates, right? And we can sometimes have that first love, maybe first lesson, that can be a soulmate, and then there's another soulmate waiting for you as your life partner. But it's not something that happens like 5, 6, 7 times in your life. Maybe for this collective, it's time to, I think you've been trying to see this. What is it within me that when I meet someone, I feel this passion, I feel this love? I'm going to repeat this. It's lust and it's longing. It's not passion. It's the need for love. It's the need for deep love, based on, rooted in urgency, that is not allowing you to explore things because you're in such, subconsciously you would be in such fear that you're not going to have it, that you're not going to meet this person, that in that love bubble phase, every karmic relationship, it feels like it's the one, and then the veil drops. It's the clarity that comes to you, probably within years. Let's do a few more. Outdated thinking, conditioning. There's something that you're not seeing. Hold on, I'm going to do a few more. Passion, not enough. Frustration, self-sabotage. I wouldn't be surprised if you have... You would have this collective. I'm hearing that you would have a misunderstanding, deep misunderstanding. There's a reason I was mentioning the passion, the passionate cultures, right? Deeply wounded cultures. You would have a misunderstanding of what passion is. You would probably, maybe now it's dissolving, it's healing, but if you look those 9 years back, you would probably think that someone who is jealous or someone that you fight with, it's because it's passion, it's because you're both passionate and have character and have temper. Bad temper! Bad temper is what it is. True passion is love that burns with a strong flame for one person. And that passion doesn't go towards fighting, jealousy, aggressiveness, abuse. It goes towards your sensuality. It goes towards your love, towards your romance. That's true passion. If it's not that, you're connected to a karmic that is illuminating your shadows that you're not seeing. I feel, I look at her and it's like she's almost like devouring it. It's like you think things just happen, right? Just happen. Like the passion is something that you can't control. If you can't control it, it's because you have no self-control. You can't control yourself. You cannot take firm decision and stick to that decision that you have taken. This is why the grounding energy, that insisting energy, right, that hammer energy, it is in the center of your spread. So you would try that, but around that there's passion, there's heartbreak, there's right. So it's just, there's something that you have been replaying, something that you have been repeating because of the wounding. I feel, again, this collective, you would think that you probably, it's this misunderstanding of passion, confusion, passion with toxicity, with lust, with lack. That instance just fell for confirmation. I want to do couple of tarot on top of that to sort of confirm your energy, your repeating energy, that pattern, right, that cannot be broken. And let's see what comes out. Repeating patterns, something that cannot be broken, energy of this collective. Last, Wheel of Fortune. Let me do 4 as well. We have the cherry. Yeah. One more. 10 of Cups. 4. Okay. So within this collective, I think, again, I repeat this to you guys in many readings. When we do collective readings, and even when we do one-on-one readings, I'm not supposed to say things that, tarot is not about saying things that you don't know, saying things that that will happen and you have no idea, right? Tarot is a tool for healers, for true awakened healers, for true channels. It's a tool that is meant for me as a channel to help you see something that deep down you're realizing, to help to bring the shadow into the light, into the conscious mind, right? That's why many people who are not ready for healing, sometimes they come on sessions and they no, denial, right? It's not the way it is. But when you're ready, things will land, things will make sense, things will resonate deeply, because deep down it's like you know. And I always say this to you guys, and I've mentioned this in my explanation video about that passage from one cycle to another right now, that it's not breaking a pattern and going to another level. It's not always about action, about changing something now in a moment, right? It's about the awareness, right? It's about stopping to deny things that we have to heal, that are not okay. Stopping to, it's like, for this collective, it's this energy, it's like, you know, but then things just happen. Things don't just happen, right? What comes towards us are lessons and our tests from the universe, trying to see, are you going to react in the same way? So if your pattern is to stay single, to focus on you, to choose you, to take it slow in a relationship, to develop friendship first, not jump into we're together, we're already, having intimacy, and again, from a 0 to 100, so within literally a couple of months, going from we just met to like we're together, everybody knows, and I don't know, I'm hearing as well, like sharing with friends and maybe posting on social media. They're testing you. So they're constantly going to be sending you new partners after a breakup for you to finally do things differently. This is how we break patterns. They're sending us the same thing. And they're observing, are you finally going to react differently? Sometimes it's the same thing with the same person. Sometimes it's the same thing with a different person. But they're sending you the lessons and they're waiting for you to say, no, this time I'm going to do it differently. This time I'm not going to go for a 0 to 100. This time there's going to be no love bombing. This time, for the first 6 months, I'm going to be exploring this relationship as friendship. So romantical friendship, I always say this to you guys, no intimacy, right? to spend time together, get to know each other. I'm going to keep it in a bubble of secret. I'm not going to inform everyone that, oh, this another love of my lifetime, right? I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to observe. I'm going to go deeper. I'm going to contemplate. I'm not going to allow, I'm going to have self-control, right? But if you do things the same way, you can't break the pattern. There is this urgency within this collective that is making you jump into things and looking. I am hearing, maybe you even say to yourself that it was destined. Because why they would send me this next person, right? It must have been destined. It was a destined lesson to see, are you gonna act the same way? I feel this collective, whether you realize it or not, you deeply crave love. You deeply crave this happy ever after, this intimacy, family, having someone to, the sad thing is that most people, to be honest, most people craves that. But because of the shadows, because of the fear, oftentimes because of avoidance as well for some, they deny it. They're not willing to say it out loud. That's why they play games in relationships. They play cool, right? But I feel this collective, you would want this. This is why you jump into relationships. Because you deeply desire to be with someone, to be seen, to be loved, to be held, to be cherished, to give that love to someone else. You're holding on to an image that you have created. And I always say this to you guys. If we have an image of something that we've created in our heart, that is an image that comes from lack, from needing something, right? So in this case, love, relationship, we crave for something deeply. We're going to make anyone fit. Any person that will come, we're going to make it fit. We're going to make it work until it's no longer workable. And then is that the revelation, that truth that comes to you. Queen of Swords. King of Cups. He came in reverse. I don't do reversal, but I'm hearing he's reversed, and that's on top of that Wheel of Fortune. I feel this collective, there's something within you that understands that relationships are lessons, that we have to do a little review, that we have to grow, that we have to expand, but you're not seeing the biggest lessons. It's like, I think it's exactly what I said. It's, you think that, why would they send someone new if they don't want me to be with this person? It must have been destined. And if I miss it, I'm going to miss my destined moment. You can't miss your destined moment. These are all tests. If you really believe in true love, if you really believe in soulmates, do you believe that they could send you someone and that is your soulmate, the other, half of your apple or orange or however you call it, in depending on a culture, the person that is destined, that is for you on your highest, most aligned timeline? And if you say to them that, oh, you need to focus on you and start from friendship and take things slow because you're not ready to jump into intimacy and into relationship, and if they leave, do you really think that this is the one? You jump into things with that urgency because you're afraid that it's going to be fleeting, that it's going to go away, that you're going to miss your chance. Nothing solid and nothing true was ever built on fear. You lack true emotional maturity. It's like you learn something on every relationship, but your essence doesn't really change. You're not really evolving. You're not breaking patterns. You're learning something, but I feel this collective, you're still associating these lessons with a person. You're not seeing it as these lessons as a repetitive pattern that you're repeating. Chariot. We're already going towards of what you're not seeing, but we're going to break that down. We have Hermit. I feel it's exactly that. There's a reason it was coming to my mind, and I was already saying this to you guys. There is something within you that realizes